Hi, I'm Mark Cunningham with Grace Property Management Real Estate. You know, one of the scariest things as a landlord is getting sued, the thought of getting sued, because you don't know what to do, you don't want it to happen. Well, there's a couple reasons, more often than others, that landlords get sued. And what are they? First and foremost, incorrect security deposit returns. That means a tenant moves out of a property and you as the landlord, you incorrectly withhold more of the money than you should. You charge for damages that you shouldn't charge for. You charge for something you think is damage, but legally it's just wear and tear. Or you take too long to return the security deposit. Security deposit return laws in Colorado are very, very clear. They're very, very straightforward, and they do side with the tenant. So you've got to be cautious in how to do security deposit returns. If you want more information on specifically security deposit returns, check out our video number 16 called "What Can I Charge to My Tenants Security Deposit?" That's the number one reason that landlords get sued. Now, number two reason, maintenance, specifically as it relates to health issues. Meaning the tenant calls and says, hey, I've got a water leak here, and landlord doesn't fix it. And then that water leak turns into mold, and now the tenant's not feeling well, and so now the tenant sues. Take repair requests seriously as a landlord. You need to investigate every repair request, regardless of how silly you think it might be. Why? Because it could potentially lead to a health issue. Now, you want to be wise in that. You want to ensure that you're not getting taken advantage of. But if there are legitimate things that need repaired, you've got a legal obligation, you've got a moral obligation to get those things corrected, because you don't want something to impact your tenant from a health standpoint. So go out of your way to ensure that the tenant is well provided for, well taken care of. So when these things come up for us, for example, we will absolutely ensure that there's not mold in those instances, because that's a big scare. Tenants don't understand it, and if something gets damp, they think there's going to be mold. Let them know that there's not. Ensure that there's not. Don't just tell them. Make sure that the property is clean and clear for that. That's another way you can avoid a lawsuit. And number three, unenforceable terms of the lease or fees. We see a lot of landlords that just come up with these crazy leases, and they write things into the lease that quite frankly are illegal or illogical, that don't make sense. So with your lease agreement, you need to ensure that your lease agreement is compliant with your state law, because most states don't provide, and Colorado doesn't either, they don't provide a standard lease. That means it's up to you as the landlord to ensure your lease complies with state law. So if your lease says things like you can just terminate the lease agreement with a 3-day notice when the property is going to sell, that's probably not enforceable, and the tenant may not like that and they may sue you. Or if you have crazy fees in your lease, that'll get you sued as well. And those fees may not be illegal, but a judge may not withhold them. And if push comes to shove, the tenant may sue and you will lose on those things. So make sure your lease agreement is reasonable and professional. Number four, violation of quiet enjoyment. There's a concept, a legal concept called quiet enjoyment. What it means is you have to give your tenant the right to enjoy the property. Yes, it's yours, you own it, but you can't come in and bother them on a regular basis. You have to give them notice before you enter. So this is a big deal we see for landlords sometimes, is they come in when they shouldn't. They just come barging in to repair something without getting approval from the tenant. Even though it's your property, Mr. Landlord or Miss Landlord, you still need to get the tenant's approval before you come in, because it's their property. So things like notice and things like their privacy. Don't ever, we've seen there's this rash of landlords now putting security cameras in rental properties to kind of keep an eye on the tenants. That would be a big no-no. It's not illegal, but it'll get you sued and you'll lose. No security cameras in the tenants' properties. It would be invading their privacy. Now, the biggest umbrella aspect of things you want to do to ensure that you're treating your tenants well is set realistic expectations. So do not set unrealistic expectations. We had the state director of real estate in Colorado talking to a group of property managers, and she said this: hey, property managers, the number one reason that you're getting sued isn't even that you're doing things wrong or illegal, it's unrealistic expectations. You're promising X and you're delivering Y, and the tenants are getting mad. And that's why they call us as the Real Estate Commission to complain about you. So start delivering realistic expectations, and a lot of those problems will go away. And I think that's absolutely 100% correct. You need to ensure that you're being realistic in the expectations you set on the front end to give your tenant a great experience. The relationship you have as a landlord between you and your tenant should be clean. It should be a beautiful, wonderful thing. It's not always, but it should be, and it can be, as long as you do these things properly. You'll have great tenants. They'll be there long term. They'll be successful. You'll be successful. Everybody rarely wins in those scenarios. If you've got questions on this, jump on our website. Give our office a call. Rentgrace.com is our website. We'd love to answer any questions you may have.